So we got a question from the audience: is how do you speak to those executives and directors who state they're unphishable, right, or unpunishable? And first off, they're phishable, like Sean just went through right there, right? But the way I try to approach them to get their attention is money, plain and simple. When it boils right down to it, all we do every day, the decisions we make every day affect the bottom line, the dollars, especially in InfoSec, right? So if we take credit cards, for example, right? We're taking credit cards online, we've got a retail store, it doesn't matter to me. We're taking a credit card. Now we're under PCI DSS regulatory requirements. We've got to go through an audit every year. We've got to prove every individual's been trained, right? If you don't train, there's a fine involved with that, or you may not be able to get your report on compliance, and now you can't do business. Visa may decide to stop allowing you to accept Visa cards. So I try to approach the directors that are unphishable, the executives that don't want to talk about it. I try to approach them in the manner to show them actual money, right? This is what's going to cost us. Fines are cheap. The reputational loss is expensive. Yeah. I can equate that to about a 5-year loss in revenue by a breach because somebody did something stupid or somebody didn't do anything stupid. They actually just got breached with a really smart, intelligent breach, but they were untrained. So now the fine gets in there, and then your reputation gets out that we're not doing the right thing. So I just didn't mean to interrupt anybody. I apologize, but that's one thing I try to do, and the approach I take with a lot of executives, because they understand dollars and cents.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah, you have to speak the language of the audience,
yes.
Right? And you have to change the message. And again, I think that the point here is you change the narrative. It's not about a phishing test. It's not about whether you want to expose them to potential ridicule by their peers or to put them into a statistical pool where everybody is seen as capable or not. They're a risk group. The executives have access that many people in the company do not have. Right, so they, in more than ever, they're a higher risk than your factory worker in a production facility. They may take a business line down, but they're not going to be exposing corporate information or intellectual property or secrets, or plans, or violating an SEC requirement for non-disclosure of financial operations. That it really depends on the executive you're talking to, but the risk is greater. Now, how do you change that narrative? You help them understand that you have to understand those executives and their triggers.